Recruiting never sleeps, Max. Recruiting is a year-round sport, and there are many people who break down these guys and break down the prospects across the state. That's why we came out with the Dave Campbell Presents Texas Football Rising, our inaugural recruiting guide. So you can pick this up. It's got tons of 2017, 2018, even some 2019 kids in here. So you want to pick this up because we're breaking down all the best players in the state of Texas. And the guy who helped us out with that knows recruiting in this state inside and out. He's a former All-American at the University of Texas, and now he is the voice. He's the official recruiting analyst of Dave Campbell's Texas Football. We are so pleased to be joined by James Lott. How are you, James?
What's happening, guys? How are we doing out there?
We are doing just fine. Where does this Tuesday afternoon find you?
Sitting in front of my computer, evaluating players constantly, in the big state of Texas. We're always looking for and analyzing new guys, trying to find new talent out there.
I'm interested in kind of the breakdown of your work because obviously with the signing day that's just passed at 2016, at what point did you start turning your focus to the 2017 kids?
Actually, guys, we started on 2017 kids last year. These days it's so big these days. Colleges are wanting information on younger and younger prospects, all the way down to 219 prospects. So we were actually out last year, this time, out in schools, in camps, trying to identify the top 217, 218, 219 players. Because that's the trend now. Schools want to know where the young guys are so they can get their early offers in.
From kind of a overarching standpoint, when you look at this 2017 class, is there a particular position that stands out to you as being the strongest?
Well, there's several, and of course, one of them is, I think, the quarterback position, which is the reason I highlighted quarterbacks today, and with the changes of what people are doing offensively with, running quarterbacks and dual threat guys, it's such an emphasis on scoring points with guys that are athletes. So that's kind of the focus today is identifying some of those young 217 prospects that are going to be some of the higher recruited guys in the state next year.
One of the guys that you highlighted to me and a guy who really stood out to us this year in guiding his team to the state championship game is Jason Shelley, the quarterback at Frisco Lone Star, a 6-foot, 180-pound guy who can run. Things obviously didn't go as well as he had hoped in the state title game, but when you watch Jason Shelley play, what stands out to you?
Impressive, very impressive. Very, very raw kid that's got such a tremendous upside. He's a four-sport athlete. In other words, he plays 4 sports. In this day and age, everybody's kind of focusing in on just football or just basketball or just whatever sport. This guy plays 4 sports, and he's good. He's a starter at all of them: football, basketball, baseball, and he runs track. So to me, watching Jason play, and I actually live out in Frisco, right up the street from Lone Star High School, so I was able to follow him kind of over the last 2 years, and he's really impressed me with how much he's grown as a quarterback, as a field general, as a kid that makes good decisions on the field, and as a talented athlete that can lead his team to a state championship. People ask me all the time, they talk about Frisco Lone Star's run to the state championship. I say, well, is it over now? Now that they had that year, is it over now? And I said, absolutely not. As long as Jason Shelley's the quarterback at Frisco Lone Star, they have a chance to be in the state championship.
We're talking with James Lott, the official recruiting analyst of Dave Campbell's Texas Football, here on DCTF Live. Get involved with the conversation at hashtag DCTF Live. Another guy that you highlighted comes from a program with great pedigree down there in the Coastal Bend area, Refugio, Jaylen Mascaro, another guy who led his team to a state championship game. Obviously a smaller school guy, but when you watch Mascaro, what are the things that really jump off the page about him?
Absolutely. Another great athlete, big kid, 6 foot more, 225 kid, strong runner with the ball in his hands. And one interesting thing that most viewers don't know is it's actually my nephew's son. I'm actually a Refugio native, and nobody knew that. But I'm a Refugio graduate, and Jaylen's actually my nephew's son. So a chip off the old block there that a lot of people didn't know about. But another great talent, got a couple of offers. Initially committed to Houston, but is no longer committed to Houston. He's kind of still out there looking at Houston, Rice, SMU, and Kansas. But another example, guys, of a phenomenal athlete with a great upside. He's only been playing quarterback, actually, for 2 years. You know, he was actually a safety / linebacker / running back coming into high school as a freshman, and then converted over to quarterback. And so what you're seeing right now on the field is a raw guy that's not had a lot of snaps at the quarterback position, but another guy that can make plays both with his speed and as a thrower, but still learning the position. So he's in another, I've got a liking to recruits that play multiple sports because, I think those recruits got a higher ceiling because they hadn't spent all their last 8-9 years of their life playing one sport. So another kid that plays multiple sports, he's actually a very good baseball player, and he also runs track. So another great athlete playing the quarterback position.
Of course, he's down there at the 2A level. With Frisco Lone Star and kind of these bigger programs, you kind of have an understanding that these are really some of the best players in the state playing at the highest level. As a recruiting guy, when you're watching film and you're trying to break down a guy's game, how much does the level of competition play into it?
You do look at that. I'll be honest. I do look at that because the speed of the game changes from when you go from even 5A up to 6A. So if you're looking at Cedar Hill play Soto, it's going to be a little bit different from Frisco Lone Star playing Frisco. But at the end of the day, these are all great athletes, great football players that are exceptional at their positions. And then when you talk with the Mascaro kid looking down at the 2A level, you do look at that because he's not playing schools like, DeSoto and Cedar Hill and Allen every weekend, where he's playing schools that are smaller with less speed down in South Texas. So another way I like to analyze these kids is I like to try to get out after the season when they go out to the Nike Combines and the other events where they're showcased against the best in the state, no matter what level. So I'm able to get a better bead on how that kid competes and how he's going to be at the next level competing against the best in the business.
One other 2017 quarterback I want to ask you about, you mentioned Cedar Hill. It seems like every year they've got tons of athletes, and one of the guys that Coach Joey McGuire has told us all about is his quarterback, Avery Davis. First caught our eye with a big play in the 2014 state championship game. When you watch Avery Davis at Cedar Hill, what stands out to you?
Probably the biggest thing that stands out about this kid is that I found out is that he's a strong academic kid, very smart, has a 22 on his ACT, is what Coach McGuire told me, and the kid wasn't happy with that. He's like, 22, is that it? I need to take this thing again. So anytime you combine that sort of drive and that sort of smartness to a kid, and with the athletic ability that the kid has. He's played quarterback, he plays wide receiver, he plays running back, he runs track. But another dual threat guy that's running an offense, that's a positive guy that wants to win, but a guy that I believe can lead teams no matter what level to the promised land because of their drive.
One thing that ties all three of these guys together, as you mentioned, is that they can run. They can be a dual threat. At this point, if you can't run, are coaches really kind of taking that as a kind of a knock against you on your resume?
It's huge these days. It's kind of changed from the prehistoric ages when I went to Texas. No longer are guys looking for quarterbacks that aren't mobile anymore. It's kind of the whole game's changed with the spread offenses and running quarterbacks that are part of the run game. So they're looking for different ways to exploit defenses in the way that you can exploit defenses with speed. So one of the first things I look at any position when I'm evaluating is how good an athlete the kid is and how fast is he. That's one of my top priorities, and then how the kid learns, and I kind of work my way down. But athleticism and speed is huge in this day and age.
He is James Lott. He's the official recruiting analyst of Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Follow him on Twitter at JL Scouting. James, appreciate your time, and we'll catch up again next week.
Appreciate it, guys. Talk to you next week.